time when you look back and realize I told you the truth. I showed you. I proved it. Observable truth. Verifiable truth. I showed you what this realm is. I showed you how it works. I showed you where you are. I showed you how the pieces fit. I shared evidence. I shared evidence. I proved it. You have no one to blame if you deny it and run away from it. I showed you. I showed you. No mercy. I will end this hell.
I will do what I have promised.
Demons will burn here forever and ever and ever. Burn! Burn! Burn, demons, burn! Forever! Dance in the fire, you dirty liars. Dance! Burn! I will seal you in.
Hello, hello, my tigers and ravens and crows. Hello, hello. This is the Raven King. I can do anything. And this is how my model is different from all of the rest that you will find. There are liars on YouTube that will claim false things about me and say that I borrowed from this religion or that religion or this group or that group or these ancient texts or these or this or that or the other. And they just make up shit. They're bullshitters. They're liars. They're envious little demons. I've studied and observed this realm my entire lifetime here for many decades. I'm not young. I'm over 30 years old. I'm not young. I'm not young. And I've observed and I've paid attention and I've studied and I've looked at what pieces fit and what doesn't fit, and discarding what doesn't match reality is using what's known as the apophatic method. I've discussed this in videos. It's the divine method. Discarding what is false, what remains will be true or closer to the truth. It's ruling out what doesn't fit. It's the Sherlock Holmes method. Deductive reasoning. Ruling out the innocent. Oh, they have an alibi. It couldn't have been them as the murderer or as the thief or the criminal. And you rule out, and there's less and less on the table, less suspects, until finally there's only one that it could be. That's one way of arriving at the truth. The apophatic method. But there's also looking at, does this piece fit in with this piece? What fits here? It's like trying to assemble a puzzle when you don't have the box to look at to see what the picture is. You just have some puzzle pieces, and some might be missing, and some might be thrown in there from another puzzle that doesn't fit at all. It's there to mislead you, misdirect you, to confuse you, and that's what this realm does. You're in a tricky place. This is a very tricky realm. It isn't simple. This realm isn't designed to be simple. This is a hell realm. This is a hell realm. This is a realm of suffering. This is a sewer matrix. My view of what this realm is differs from all the rest. I don't assume that this place was a Garden of Eden and was hijacked. I don't make those assumptions about where I am and what this place is, like many others do. They go back to looking at the Freemasonic-controlled Hebrew Bible, for example, and they say, well, it says this in the Bible. Who gives a shit? The Bible's controlled. The Bible is controlled. How could you rely on that as a source of information? It's corrupt. You can't trust that. The Bible is in every Freemasonic hall and temple in this realm. There are Freemasonic Bibles with the compass and square and the G on the cover. It's completely controlled. That's not a reliable source of information. A lot of truthers go to the Gnostics. They go looking here, they go looking there. They go to the Christian Gnostics. They go to Hinduism. They go to Buddhism and talk about, well, that talks a little bit about suffering, but then it misleads you with the bardos of Buddhism and this and that and this colored light and that colored light. Some people go to the mystery schools. A lot of baby truthers on YouTube believe in a creator. They believe they were created by a creator. I was not created by a creator, by a being or a god, as some of you might call it, or source. I wasn't created out of thin air. I don't have a starting point, and I don't have an ending point. I am eternal. I always was, and I forever will be. I wasn't created out of thin air, or out of dirt, or dust, or mud, or scraps, or wishes of some entity, or some alien, or some this or that. The Anunnaki didn't create me, okay? Enki and Enlil, which some weirdo truthers on YouTube believe, that Freemasonic Sitchkin story, that he's the only one that could translate the tablets, Sumerian tablets. It's bullshit. It's another psyop. And a lot of you on YouTube, by the millions, believe in psyops. You're dupes. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, a lot of people are deceived in this realm. Many, many beings are deceived in this realm. By religions, by cults, by philosophies, by ideologies. Deceived in schools, in religions, by families, by churches, by temples, by mosques. Deceived by governments, by mainstream media. Deceived by Hollywood movies and TV shows. They'll follow anything. They don't have a sense for truth. They don't have a love for truth. They don't love the truth as it is, as a thing, as a sacred thing to love and respect and cherish as sacred. Most beings in this realm don't care about truth. They care only about themselves, their advantage. They're selfish. They wish they had more money, then they'd be happy with this hell realm. If their life were easier, they think money's the solution. Most in this realm are foobar. Anyway, back to my model. I'm not someone who has spent many lifetimes here to learn what this realm is. There's the old adage that, oh, you must be an old soul. You must have reincarnated here many times to figure this place out. No, it's the opposite. And I teach the opposite. This is my first lifetime here. This place was alien to me and bizarre and dark and toxic and strange and sinister. It had a sinister feeling to it. I knew it was wrong as a young boy. I could always see that I'm not from here. I'm different. This isn't my home. I knew that right away. I'm not from here. This isn't my home. I don't belong here. Was my life pretty good? Yes. I didn't discover this because I lived the most miserable life of suffering. That isn't the case. I have awareness in a realm that's void or devoid of awareness. There's very, very little awareness in this realm with most beings. Gnostics, the ancient Gnostics and the modern ones, claim to have gnosis, knowledge plus wisdom combined into a word. I don't know if that's true, because they believe that their God abandoned them, that the real God, not the demiurge, fake God of this realm, but the real God, they believe. And I'm saying it sarcastically. The real God abandoned them, but it's good. Well, that wouldn't be good then. See, my model's different again, because no good God could abandon his or her or its, to remove the gender, children and still be good, because you abandoned them in a house of horrors, a realm of horrors, a hell realm ruled by evil and filled to the brim, overflowing with suffering and evil and disease. That would be, at the very minimum, neglect, a form of abuse, if not completely sadistic. Then that being wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be a good God if it neglected and abandoned us to this creation, if it's an all-powerful God, and left evil in charge and had it designed this way to harm us. Nature harms us. 10,000 plus diseases and disorders, genetic disorders. This is a realm of suffering and abuse and evil in power. No quote-unquote good God, end quote, could abandon its essentially defenseless children or spiritual beings to this and still be good. That eliminates it from being good. Just like if a mother leaves a newborn baby at home to fend for itself with no babysitter, newborn, or under 1 year old, let's say, under a year old, and goes on vacation and the baby dies because they left the baby alone. Or multiple children, as some women have done, and flown away to some country for vacation, and their children died because they left their very, very young, defenseless babies alone in the house. That is neglect. You can be charged with murder, okay? Or neglect causing death. That's torture, essentially. They have no way to feed themselves, fend for themselves. It's horrific. It would be the same case with the so-called God, leaving us here in a realm of horrors, a house of horrors, realm of horrors, to fend for ourselves, when evil is given all the advantages and all the power and extra knowledge of how to run this place and how it works, and they're in cahoots with entities, all right, working together. Anyway, that's another way that my model differs from Gnostics and from Hindus and Buddhists and from anyone else. I can go on. I don't claim that we chose to come here, that we chose this to come in here. I don't assume that. In fact, I lean the other way, that we did not choose this, that we did not just look at this and consent and go, yeah, I'll do that, and sign a contract. Where's the evidence, is what I say. Where's the evidence that I chose this, or any of my friends that insist they would not choose to come here chose this, or chose abusive parents, chose to be abused as children, chose a lifetime that's not just difficult, but a life of suffering. Some of my friends through YouTube have chronic pain, suffering, multiple sclerosis, for example. There's a couple at least a couple on my channel that suffer with that. They would not have chosen that and willfully consented to that, knowingly consented to that, given true consent. Okay? Other channels and others disagree. They say, we chose this. We chose all of this. We are creating this. It's our fault. And they blame us. I don't do that. My model doesn't do that. I don't blame the victims. I don't blame people that insist they would not create a realm, a hell realm like this, that's evil, perverted, deranged, demented, degenerate, full of evil, suffering, witches, demons, zombies. I wouldn't participate, and I know others that wouldn't as well. It's another way that my model differs from all of these other models, New Age, Gnosticism, religions, cults. I don't claim to know what you chose or didn't choose to do before you were born into this realm. They do often. They'll say, we chose this before we were born. What an incredible claim they make with no evidence. It's one of the biggest claims you can make, to tell someone, you chose this, you just don't remember. You chose it before you were born, you can't remember. Well, how the fuck would you know? Can you show me a mountain of evidence for that? And they show zero evidence for that claim. They just say, well, we must have chosen this. We all chose this. Bullshit. I call bullshit on all these other channels. So that's another way my model differs from theirs. I don't claim that we chose this. I don't claim that we chose to come here to experience Earth, to come here to experience suffering, to quote unquote learn, end quote, through suffering. I don't claim that we are creating this, or we did create it before we came here. I don't claim this to be my realm. I claim this to be a sewer matrix designed to create suffering, to leech off us, to break us down, to drain us spiritually, to recycle us endlessly as much as they can, and use us up. And they get glee and entertainment, not just energy from it. They get entertainment and glee. They like watching us suffer, these evil, parasitic entities. They enjoy it. They're entertained. They like watching us. They get perverse, sick pleasure, like voyeurs. But beyond voyeurism, it's beyond that with these entities. Now, have you ever observed them? I have. I've been out of body. I've observed them. So I'm also speaking from experience. I'm not just taking a stab in the dark. I'm not just making up bullshit. I have firsthand witnessed these entities. And I'm not the only one. I've studied other people's events and them speaking about how they get sick pleasure, these entities, from abusing us, from watching us, abusing us. They're entertained by us. They don't want to come here and do this in this fucking sewer matrix hell realm. But they put us through it. Also, my model says that, as far as I can tell, angels, demons, entities, aliens, spirit guides, all these things are all just part of this matrix system, this sewer matrix. They might look slightly different, or they might look very different from each other. But some demons look like aliens, some aliens look demonic. Some angels look that way. Some angels might look pure and innocent and glowing, but it doesn't mean that they're good beings. They're tricksters. I think they're all part of the same club, in a sense, in this matrix. Angels, demons, spirit guides, aliens, all of that shit. It's another part of my model that seems to differ from quite a few religions, cults, Gnosticism, etc. They'll just speak about archons, but they seem to believe that angels are different from archons. I would say archons, aliens, demons, angels, spirit guides, all the same shit. Same club. Maybe one can shapeshift into another. Maybe they're that way. Anyway, they're from the same family of this matrix, sewer matrix. I stand against evil. I speak about fighting evil. They really don't. I speak about ending this hell realm. Some say I'm the first to say that, about ending this hell realm sewer matrix and sealing in the demons. Some have credited me with the first to say that, or the only one to really say that for years and years. That's another way my model is different. This has to be ended. Other channels laugh at the idea of ending this, and they claim it can't be done. That's what they do. They laugh at it. I say that this place should have never existed. It doesn't deserve to exist. It's too bad. It should never have existed. And it needs to be ended. And ending this is the moral thing to do, to end this. It has to be done. Has to be done. It's not a matter of I want to. It has to be done. And good spirits have to be set free. And evil demonic beings, evil demonic spirits have to be sealed in here. And I know losers that haven't thought anything through will say, why does he want to keep this running? Why doesn't he just kill all the demons? Well, maybe they are eternal spirits, but maybe they can be trapped and sealed in. Do you ever ponder things? There's a lot on YouTube that say, why does he want to seal them in? Why doesn't he just end them? Well, maybe they're not mortal beings in human meat suits. Maybe they are demonic, but they are eternal spirits. Maybe they can't be killed. Do you ever consider anything? Or do you just talk? And there's many thousands on YouTube that don't think. They just want to oppose me out of envy. They don't think things through. They don't look at my model and say, does it really make sense? They're jealous and envious, and they want to compete. And they want to be contrarian. They're losers. And a lot of them follow shit channels like, you know the ones. I won't even mention them. I don't have to mention them. But they're on YouTube, and they're beyond YouTube. So yet again, the Raven King and my model is about ending this hell realm sewer matrix and sealing in the demons. Doing what needs to be done. Are they mentioning that all over YouTube? On AI channels? And on loser, Team Evil channels, shit channels, channels for shekels, shills for shekels. No, they aren't. Are religions mentioning this? Are Gnostics? No, they aren't. My model, again, is different. These are just off the top of my head differences. There's many more differences that I won't even mention in this video. Or this video would probably turn into hours long. It would take a lot more work and a lot more thinking and remembering, well, how does my model differ here and here and here? I don't have to go through every fine point of differences. You should be able to see the differences, especially when I outline them. But intelligent beings should be able to see that my model is different. My channels are different. My videos are different. My Esoterica series is different without me outlining the differences. You should be able to see on your own. On your own. You should have that awareness. I am an eternal spirit. I'm not going to be going through any bardos. I'm not going to be doing any life review or submitting. Not going into any light. I don't have any gods or masters or creator. No masters, no rulers, no gods, no deities, no creator, no authorities above me. Nothing is spiritually above me. Nothing. That's another part of my model and my spiritual philosophy. I have handed out alchemical gold. Other channels sell you mostly lies and half-truths, and truths that they have quite often, frankly, stolen from my channel and copycatted along the way. Things they were not speaking about whatsoever before they came upon the Sanity Machine channel and El Diablo. And that's a fact. And there's a lot of them. David Icke had decades to speak about this stuff. How this realm actually works. The soul trick, the recycling. He didn't. He didn't. Neither did Eric Dubay, by the way, and Mark Devlin, and others. So start seeing it the way it actually is. My model talks a lot about spiritual things in this realm, and the eyes to see spiritually, and being Viking strong, and being able to spot demons. And I show ways of spotting demons here in this realm and becoming spiritually stronger and developing your spiritual discernment, spiritual eyes and ears, and spiritual wisdom. That's all part of my model and all part of my teachings. My model is different. My model is original and unique. My teachings are different. My spiritual wisdom is different. My spirit is different. I talk about spiritual species, different species of spirits here. That's another part of my model that is different. And the list goes on. My model is different from all the others. I'm not saying that to boast. I'm saying it because it's true, and I'm tired of the lies of this realm and the lies spread about me, the lies and slander. My model is different. My Esoterica series is the greatest series on YouTube. I challenge anyone to prove that wrong. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Bye for now, everyone.